All right, and welcome back to the Strong Girl Shuffle.
Notice anything different about us?
We're together.
Oh my god,
It's been so long.
I can touch you.
It's been, how long has it been?
Oh my god, Allie, don't ask me that question. I don't even know what I had for breakfast last week.
Well, it's a big day. It's a very big day, and you don't even know why.
Oh, tell me.
What? You know what? Today, exactly a year, was the first podcast session we ever talked about. It popped up on our app saying it was our birthday on our Strong Girl Shuffle.
Oh my god.
Right? It's our birthday!
It's our 1-year anniversary!
And look at us together recording
Oh my
our
god.
10th episode.
Guys.
Right? It's a moment.
We're not babies anymore.
We're pros. Pros.
I'm gonna cry.
I waited. I didn't even put that in there for you.
We were talking for like at least 2 hours before starting the session.
I had to save that.
Oh, girl.
Right? It's our birthday.
My mascara's $40. Oh my gosh. Well, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Oh my
made it
God.
1 year. We survived.
We went through it. We started from my basement and now we're here.
Me here in my office.
But it's patent pending.
Exactly. But we got a very exciting episode today. We're going to be talking about my first competition of the year, which is very exciting. And then we're going to be talking about Europe's Strongest Man, which, me and some of the other competitors were watching our phones. We were on a spreadsheet. We were waiting, finding out information as we were competing.
So yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
So yeah, we are going to talk about Allie's Strongman in Summerside, and we're going to go over the Europe
PEI Classic is what it was called.
PEI Classics.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's official name.
I wish you had your shirt.
I never even thought of that.
But before we go into the full stats, you guys know the drill. We are going to talk about our goals, how we've been succeeding this week, and do a little bit of
Tarot.
Ooh.
Almost insane. Yeah, so we're gonna get started with our goals and then move into our tarot. So how's your goals been going?
Really good, actually. So my brain's still a little bit wonky. I'm still working through that. I'm just trying to get back into the motion of things because, like we talked last week, I haven't been going to the gym as much as I'd like to.
Yeah.
So last week was my first back at the gym, just twice. And then I've been doing a lot of active workouts. So going for jogs, going hiking, just doing things that are outdoors. That's more practical workouts.
Yeah, it's still a workout. It still counts. I count as a workout.
Yeah, and I don't know if we talked about it in this podcast round, but last time we were talking, I did mention I do enjoy running a little bit more than actually using weights.
Yes, yeah, you're more of a cardio. You've definitely mentioned that you're more of a
woods girl. I like
looking in the trees.
Yeah, I like being on my lonesome.
Yeah.
So I started doing that a little bit more, and I found a lot more motivation. And then I went.
Which is really funny because I want to start walking out in nature, and I am avoiding it, and I am dreading doing it.
Why don't you go out and watch it? Man, we can go to VP.
Well, my thought is that it's the Confed Trail's right beside my house.
Oh, that's right.
So. The goal is to do morning walks. And I was I told my roommate, you're going to keep me accountable. And I was starting May. She's no, you start this week.
Oh, have you?
No. Only Tuesday.
Tomorrow I'm going to send you a message.
It's 3 days a week that I'm doing 20-minute walk.
Okay.
And I don't want to do it at all. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. I'll be messaging you tomorrow. I'll be giving you a call in the morning and be you on your walk?
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Apparently there's a pond right up the road too. On the Confed Trail with ducks.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just yeah.
That'd be my motivation. The ducks.
I will get there. My goal was May. So if I get before May, that's a win in my books.
That's a win. I'll count that as a dub. I'll count that as a dub with you.
Yeah.
But you need to do it. That's the thing. It's got to start.
It will start.
So yeah, the gym's definitely been going in. I went in today, did biceps, triceps, and back.
I would love a good back workout.
You know what? I'm starting to understand it a little bit better. Today I did the lats pull downs And the first time that I've done, like Jacob said, every time that I've sat down in the building, I've had great form.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time I've actually felt it in my lats.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, we're starting to show some progress here.
Nice.
So the form's getting better, which is like the biggest fear when you're going to the gym. I'm not doing the form right.
Yeah.
Form's getting better. Water intake, I'm killing it. Honestly, if I had a plant, I'd be overwatering it. Which is definitely helping, like, with my mindset, with my memory, and all that good jazz.
Yep.
Hydration's not just a joke. It's not something that people make jokes about online. It's a real thing.
It's so important.
Yeah. And then my writing. I actually wrote 13 pages yesterday.
Yeah, you said.
So I changed my story around just a little bit. I tweaked it.
Nice.
Just a teeny tiny bit.
Did you write? Is your full story out yet?
No, not yet.
You need to get it out. Just get it out on paper or computer.
There's so many pieces that are missing still.
Oh, I understand that, but you gotta get it out.
I got all the dirty parts written.
Oh, that's always fun. That's the fun stuff.
That's what I'm basically doing now with my writing.
You've been talking about this book for how many years?
13
years. Mm-hmm. And you don't, it's still up here.
Yeah.
You need to get it out.
Yeah.
And then tweak.
But it's been changing over the 13 years.
But just imagine if you had the full down.
Girl.
And you would have like 6 variations now.
Did I tell you? Did I ever tell you the story about me actually having this book written?
I don't know, maybe.
So when Mom died, I really buckled down.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the whole thing out. I wrote the shebang.
Yep.
Then I edited it. It took me 2 years. 2 years. First year to write it, second year to edit it. I had everything done. I was just waiting because I was too young to speak to a publisher about it. I was still young, didn't have any training, nothing. So I was fiddling with it. And then my brother takes the tower that I was using, because back in the day, we used to have the nice big towers that would hold all of our storage and computers. My brother took the tower apart, took the memory bank out of it, and used it as a gaming computer. I was like, are you kidding me? And I was like, where is the memory bank? And I wanted to kill him this day. And he was like, I sold it. I got $100 for it, and I put it towards like a better fan for my computer. I was like, I'm actually going to kill you.
Yeah, actually, I am going to be an only child.
Honestly, it was the worst day of my life. And then after that, that's when I was like, you know what? I'm just done. I'm not writing this anymore. And then I was on hiatus for about 5 years, went to university, stopped reading, got back into reading when I moved to the island. I started writing it again. So like,
so you had that little bit of fear.
Yeah, so yes, it's been like 13 years since I've been writing this story, but it's only been technically 3 years that I've been thinking about it.
Okay.
So, in retrospect, yes, I agree. It should have been written, and it should have been published.
No, I'm not saying it needs to be published.
External circumstances.
No, I'm not saying it should be published. I just think you need to get it out from here, because your brain's chaotic. I love it, but it's chaotic. Mine's there too. So it's like just get it out, and then working on it. From what I've seen through your writing process and what you've talked about, is you want every step to be perfect. Once that chapter is perfect, you move on to the next chapter.
Yeah.
But the things that and you say things change, totally normal, totally expected.
Yeah.
So how can you tweak things, add those fun little things in when the finished product isn't there?
No, I agree. I was very meticulous in the beginning, but now I'm starting to understand, like, when it comes to writing, you just write. You just write. Just get it out. You just write. Yeah. I think you just get it out. That's what, like, I'm not a writer by any stretch of the imagination. That's hard.
But that's what I struggled with whenever I was in university, is like, because I would fixate on getting the intro, like one's like a 5-point paragraph.
The first chapter is always the longest chapter to write.
And that's just it. And so what my thought was, is I'm like, get it out and then worry about the editing. Yeah. And that's how I got through my university with my papers, is write it out, don't give a fuck about the spelling, grammar, all of it, and then go back and edit. Yeah. And I think that's what you just get it out.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing now. I wrote 13 pages yesterday. I wrote the nicest part yesterday. Yeah. So things are going really well for me.
Good. Glad to hear it.
And how about yourself?
Mine's been going pretty good. I'm working on my training. So I took, like, with having a competition last week, like you're tired, you're sore, you use a lot of muscle you got. So I took a bit of a rest on Tuesday. Still got movement in, but not like super strong or super heavy. And then Friday night, we actually worked on some other things besides the competition. So we did some keg press, got the 125 up.
Nice.
Then we did some frame carries, got up to 300, so that. But the thing with me, and that's where I was like, I'm realizing, I'm like, I need to work on my speed. Like, I can lift it and I can carry it and I can hold it longer than the people I was with. Yeah. But I can't, I'm not fast enough. Yeah. And so that's where I was like, okay, I need to start working on going on these walks. That's really going to be my goal between after April, like after this competition. I have a little break till July before my next competition. So I'm really going to be focusing on still getting stronger, but I'm going to be working on my cardio, my conditioning, my fitness levels to get back to where I was before. So that's kind of where that walk thing came. I'm dreading it. I don't want to do it at all. It was beautiful out yesterday. I didn't do it.
You are going for a walk tomorrow. I will be calling you.
You can call me all you want. Doesn't mean I'll do it. The idea is there, and the goal is like, because I've been waking up earlier just because the way the sun comes up in my room. And I do better my workouts. I do better in the morning for workouts. I hate doing workouts, and I do it, but I don't enjoy it. And so I'm like, okay, I'm up early. I don't go to work till 9:45. I have to leave my house at 9. Like, I've been getting up at 7. So I'm like,
even just starting with walking around your house when you get up in the morning. Like, that's what I used to do. I used to drink my water, and I would, because in my backyard there's like a nice little track. Yeah. I'll take my water bottle. I'll go around the track. I'll do one loop around the track. Go back inside, take a sip, and then like start my day. Yeah. That's how I started, and I found that was a big help. So even doing that, like when you have your morning coffee or you have your morning water while you're watching your TikToks or you're watching your social media, you can just walk around the loop in your backyard. Yeah. Just to get used to walking.
Yes, but I did get the workout in on Sunday. Feel pretty good for that. Get ready for next competition, which is this weekend. Brunswick's very busy, so I had 2 back-to-back, and then I have a big long break. Oh, and then my new water bottle has been helping greatly. I love it. I left it home one day, and I was very sad. I do really like it. The straw is great. It doesn't leak. It's got a fun little handle. Love the colors. I've been like, I got stickers, but I'm like, I'm really enjoying the sleekness of it.
I was just going to ask
you. I have stickers, but I haven't put any on yet.
I was just going to ask you if you were going to do stickers.
I'm just enjoying her right now, and I do love it. Right?
Looks nice, clean.
Yep, nice and fresh.
Organized.
Yep.
And the meal prep.
Meal prep was this weekend kind of really, like, I was not home at all. Busy. So I didn't get to meal prep this weekend. And then I'm going to New Brunswick. So like it has been hit or miss. It hasn't been horrible, but it definitely could be better. Okay. Sorry, just kicking this.
One of the faults of being so close.
Right?
Just beating the shit out of you under the table.
Yeah. But I did get my mom sent over some meat and stuff from the States, and then I'm planning on going to Costco when I'm in New Brunswick. So like it was doing well up until this weekend. Like I was on track. I had was eating my eggs, get my breakfast, got some new protein powder, which I'm enjoying. But just this weekend, just kind of meh. But
that's understandable. I mean, you had family coming over. It's hard when you're going on vacation or you have people coming over to like keep your routine schedule. Yeah. Everyone knows that.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. Nice. Sweet.
I'm happy for us.
We're doing great.
First our 1-year anniversary. Now we're up and on our goals. We're growing up.
We want one up. All right, so now we're going to do some tarot. So we have a beautiful deck. So I'll let you describe and maybe read and I'll shuffle.
Okay.
Just because you know more about like the characteristics of this. Is this a specific anime or just anime in general?
Just anime in general.
Okay.
So it's just stylized based off of anime. For anybody who watches anime, reads manga, whatever, welcome to my weeb crew. We all weebs in this court. People are like, oh, but you're old. Like, you shouldn't be watching cartoons. People still watch Disney movies. Those are cartoons. Absolutely. Technically, they're animated. So,
absolutely.
You also watch anime.
I was jamming out to Little Mermaid when you walked in.
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
So, with that, I'm defending my anime crew.
Yeah. Nice.
So
I was not questioning it.
Just for
so we had 2 cards jump out. This one I love. This is actually my favorite card in the deck. I've seen this has popped out a few times for me.
Yeah.
So this is the Strength card. It's very Sailor Moon. That's like the one in my eye. No, is Sailor Moon. It's this beautiful pink-haired girl. She has her magic star wand, and she's like about to cast a spell. And it just has this bright, glowing radiance behind her.
She is very much a magical girl, and she was in the upright position. So just like our favorite magical girls, the Strength cards represents the courage and compassion that are required to control the power inside of us. It can also indicate a period of time in which we are exploring our passion desires to the fullest. So I'm not going to read what the card means, but I just wanted to give like a general consensus of what Strength represents. So Allie, when you look at Strength card, and we'll get into the 7 of Wands later, but when you look at Strength, what do you gravitate towards?
In this card in particular, or in general?
In this card in particular.
So for me, I look at that wand because I played with that wand. That just reminds me of my childhood. I had this wand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very much like it's giving me this magical tool to conquer all. It's how I envision it. It's just like it's like almost like
you're prepared. You have a weapon.
It's like Excalibur.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a sword or my elder wand. It's just something very personal that gives me the strength to do whatever the fuck I need to. a little aggressive.
I was gonna say we're way past the time.
I know, but it was a little more aggressive than it just came out that way.
That's good though.
Right? It's
genuine
just
emotion.
Right. Yeah, just kind of that powerhouse, and it's just like say the outfit is adorable. But like say it's the one that's catching me, and it's just it's reminding me of that's that wonder, that magic that when you're a kid you think you can conquer the world.
Yeah.
So that's what it reminds me of.
No, I can agree with that. I kind of get the same feelings, especially with the stars in the background.
Mm-hmm.
It's showing me playfulness. It's showing me like, not taking yourself so seriously, but like that's your strength, is not taking yourself seriously, to just be yourself.
Exactly.
So I can definitely agree with that with the Strength card. And then we'll read that, and then we'll go into the 7 of Wands maybe. Yeah. So a magical girl doesn't demonstrate power because she likes to fight. Rather, she summons all of her courage and bravery in order to protect the ones she loves. Similarly, the transformative powers of Strength card doesn't come from aggressive forces, but instead it blossoms out of one's heart through self-control and protective impulse to be firm when necessary.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. I think this is a very standard card. Like, it's very easy to read. Yeah. And that's what I really like about the anime tarot decks. They show, don't tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with that. So
then we have the 7 of Wands. She's a little bit more intense.
So it's looks like a fighter. He's very aggressive, like he's almost like beating off the other wands. Mm-hmm. It's a red background. He's got a pretty aggressive face, and he looks like he's like say about to beat the other 6 off. And so what I know about the 7 of Swords, just from my deck, it is very much about like holding on to a secret, something you don't want to show the world. It's something that's like you're holding close to your heart and being like, no one can know this. This is my secret to bear. But in reality, secrets just eat away at you. They're not really there for good.
Yeah.
Is what I see for there.
Okay. For those of you who do watch anime, if you watch Fruits Basket, which I highly recommend if you like Sailor Moon, you like Fruits Basket, it reminds me of Kyo. So Kyo is a very aggressive character. He tends to be very temperamental. He likes to push his emotions first. He runs through with action before he thinks of the consequences, essentially is what I'm getting at. So I agree. It's like he's fighting, fencing, and he's fighting against the other wands that are here. Typically, wands are a symbol of intelligence, like your knowledge. It's like your mind. Yeah. So to me, it's almost like inner turmoil, but he's got a smile on his face, so it's conquering your inner turmoil.
You think it's a smile?
I do.
Oh.
I do.
Okay.
So when I look at that, I think of like conquering inner turmoil. It's like you've been facing these things for so long, and now it's time, like, you've already defeated one. There's one behind him, and then there's 5 in front of him. So you've already defeated one. Now it's just taking one step at a time to defeat the rest.
Okay.
So it's showing me patience, persistence, and dedication. That's how I read that.
Yep.
And it kind of blends in with the strength card a little bit, because it's like showing your passion and compassion for the self-indulgence.
Mm-hmm.
So she's also upright, and the 7 of Wands indicates that you may need to pick up the gauntlet and fight for what you believe in. The best way to move through the energy of this card is to remember that you are not going to please everybody, but that shouldn't stop you from bravery, stepping forward and standing up for your views, which is similar to the strength that we just read.
Yeah.
So like they blend together really nicely.
They do, yeah. No, I like them.
They're kind of like brother sister.
I totally got that vibe.
Yeah.
Totally got that vibe. And like their arm placements are in the exact same position. They're over their head. So that's, totally got brother sister vibe.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice. Cool.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Easiest read ever.
Yeah, much better than last week. Oh, still all right.
Let's have a little water.
Oh,
break.
yes.
Cheers. Hello, we're back.
We're back. Hope you got your good hydration.
You ready for it?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about my first competition. So I'm just going to kind of let you lead this one. Ask me whatever you want to know. We'll kind of go over it.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I wanted to really get through is you did a competition April 13th in Summerside, and it was called Strongman.
PEI Strongman Classic.
Strongman Classics. So from my understanding, you sent a message in the group chat the whole way through. We already knew in advance that you were doing log clean and press, yoke run, wagon wheel deadlift, and sandbag to shoulder.
Yep.
You were also doing it with bodybuilders?
So it was part of a bodybuilding competition here on the island. I think it is like their like big show of the year by the sounds of things. So we were the first act. So when we came in, like there wasn't actually any bodybuilders there. Like we were kind of first out the gate. There's a few people in the audience because it was on the stage, which was really exciting. But we'll get into how it wasn't so exciting at the end there. It was a little different. But we'll get into that. So yeah, we showed up at the theater, which was really cool. We had the stage, we warmed up, and then we did the first thing. But of course, I was first. I had been first in every single competition, which in this case, it means I don't know what anyone else is going to be doing. So I have to go all out. And it's so annoying. But it's fine.
Is it because they're going in alphabetical order?
No.
Okay.
They say it's random draw. But quite honestly, I think part of it was, love you guys, but they forgot my name on the spreadsheet.
Oh,
so my name was written up top. So I'm like, is that why?
That's
They're like,
why.
So it's fine.
Inconclusive data.
Yeah.
But,
But yes, I have done 4 competitions. All 4 I've been the first out.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's so nerve-wracking. Like, you think you got nerves going in. Imagine going first to first.
It's like public speaking.
Yeah.
It really is. You're presenting yourself, and everyone's got eyes for the first person. Because they're like, oh, I wonder what she's going to do.
Yeah.
So where was this? You said that it was on the stage. It was in Summerside, but like where specifically?
Harbor Theater is what it's called. Is where we did 2 of the events, and then we did the second 3 of the other 2 events actually just in used to be an old grocery store, so it was kind of hollowed out. It was empty, but it was kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did that feel being up on stage? Like, what was your mindset going in?
First, going into it, I was a bit nervous for it. I also wasn't feeling good. I hadn't been feeling good for a couple of days. Like, of course there was nerves, but it was definitely more than nerves. Like Thursday night, I went to bed at like 8. I was slight feverish, and like there's a lot of sickness going around. So like I wasn't feeling the best going into it. I was just like, we're not gonna do well.
I remember your trainer being like, yeah, puke.
Yeah, I'm like, if we get through this day without puking, we're doing good. He's like, yeah, puke on them. They deserve it. As he's an he was a bodybuilder, so he could say that.
It's so comical.
Oh yeah, I died. I was like, yeah, there we go. There he is.
That's something to remember. You first person and puke. Yeah. What a way to go. They'll invite you back next year.
That's exactly what I said. Like, yeah, this is great publicity. They're definitely going to invite us back. Yeah. And so, yeah, so first event, first up. So I'm very comfortable with this weight. This is my warm up weight. Like I warm up with 85. So in my category, there was 6 of us. So I was first up, and so I really had no idea. So I was like, okay, we're gonna go out and we're just gonna go. So the first,
This was novice.
yes, novice class. Yes, thank you. And so novice women are always first up. So first. And so I go up and like I say, I'm very comfortable with this. So the first, I want to say 10 reps, I just strict press. So that means I'm not using any legs. And so with this event, it was a press away. So I just had to get it to my shoulders once and I could just press. I didn't have to clean it each time, which saves a lot of energy.
Okay.
So I repped out probably first 10 with no legs, which is strict press. And then about halfway through, I started using my legs. And so I ended up doing 21 reps.
Yes, ma'am.
It was, and I got good cheers. There was a few people. They were pretty impressed. And then
what a way to set the stage.
It was something, I must say. And like that's the thing. I had to go all out.
Yeah.
I did not need to do nearly as many reps. The most reps was 10.
Are you serious? I was going to ask you the next person what
Next one was 10.
Wow.
I did double and plus 1.
That's right, because you said that you got like 18. No,
21.
21. You had like 11 more than the rest of the.
I used a lot of extra energy.
Yeah.
But you didn't know.
And that's how you start. You start strong.
I gotta go strong.
Intimidating.
First, they literally were like, we're going to the open class. Oh, it was funny. So yeah, that was the first event. So in the group, there was only about 12 of us. So there was one person who was in the women's. I'm just gonna pull up my spreadsheet.
So there was like 12 competitors total, or was it more so like 12 female competitors?
It was, so there was 6 in my category, one in the like open category, the female.
Okay.
And then there was 3 in the novice for men's, and 2 in the open for men.
Okay.
So then we had a little bit of break. So then we moved over to the next section. And so it said on our sheet that it would be 11:30. So I asked the guys if it was still 11:30 because we were done by like 10 o'clock. So because of the last event being on stage at the competition, we were like, okay, we want to make sure we're spreading it out. We can easily bam out the next 2 activities in 2 hours, but then we'd have a 2-hour wait.
Yeah.
So what we did is we did the hour, we waited the hour, did the next event, waited the hour, did the next event, hour, next event type of situation.
Okay.
So then the next one was the yoke. And I did, it was for 250 pounds. So I was last to go up, which is always nice.
Nice.
And so we had to do it 90 feet. So we had to pick it up. And we had a black mat we were walking on.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to pick it up and drop it 3 times. So we had to run with it, drop it, turn around, pick it up, run, pick it up, whatnot.
Okay.
So I was last to go. I picked it up and it felt pretty good. The second pickup, it was sitting really high on my neck. So it was really like hunched over. It was very uncomfortable, but it is what it is. I ended up I did come in 5th with 22.4 seconds.
Yeah.
And it was a close one. Like there was
first place was 19.6 seconds. For like clarification.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. So it was pretty close, and that went to my fellow team member. She did really great with that. And that was another sign that I need to work on that. That was like the speed, because like it wasn't heavy, but it was so light that it was a speed event.
And the location too, like you're saying, it was like higher up on your neck.
Oh yeah, the last run was like, and that was very uncomfortable. But
did you have chalk on your back when you were lifting it, or was it just like raw dog on it?
No, I didn't have chalk. I don't need chalk for that.
I always called it a yoke carry when you pick up the yoke on your back and you walk like 20 meters with it, 10 meters.
Yeah.
I don't know what like the standard length of time is, but it's just like you have it and then you walk back.
Yeah.
Is that called a yoke run?
Yes.
Okay.
They're the same thing.
You're talking about speed?
Yeah.
So I didn't know if you actually had to run with the thing.
Oh yeah, you do.
You just like, because I remember I hobbled with it when I did yoke carry.
The idea is to run with it on your back.
Okay.
The fastest time, but depending, once you get into heavier weights, it's not more of a run, it's more of a wobble, stabilized thing. But yes, people do run with it on their backs.
Because it's really awkward. It's rocking with you when you're walking. So how did you feel, like the first time you said that you felt really good, the second time, like walk me through that process. How did you feel when it was on your neck? Like, did you find that it was more unbalanced? What was running through your mind?
It hurts. Like it happened so fast. I wouldn't say I thought, oh, I fucked up. I definitely did after, like once I dropped it, because it was.
I'm looking for an anecdote. I wanted to see like where your mindset was.
You're putting too much thought into this. Like we don't think that much. You're wanting deep philosophical shit. It's like, no, this is on my neck. I want it off.
I wanted the emotion.
It's 22 seconds. There's no emotion.
True. All right, so onto the wagon wheel deadlift. What is a wagon wheel deadlift?
No, it's the weights are bigger.
Oh.
So it's a bigger wheel. That's why it's the size of a wagon wheel. That's what it gets its name.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And so it was just normal bar. And it wasn't on pads. And so with this one, it was interesting. We had two commands. We had the up and down command. So that means you can't do a touch and go, which means you fully, like you can go faster with a touch and go aspect than you can with a down up command, because you had to fully go down, walk, like stop, then you get the up command. Mm-hmm. So with that, because I didn't do so well with the yoke, I had to go up second. Yeah. So that means I still, once again, did not know how anyone did. Mm-hmm. So one person had gone. Yeah. And she did pretty good. I want to say she got 4 reps. And so I was like, okay, that's a good starter, but I had no idea where everybody else would be. Yeah. So I just had to gun her. Yeah. So I ended up doing 13 reps.
Yep.
No, felt pretty good about that.
I bet.
No, I got first in that. I got 13, she got 12.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was 1 rep difference in that one. Going into the final event. Yeah. There was a 1.5 points between us.
Okay.
Overall total versus the points, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's where I was curious, because there was a nice little break between that and sandbags.
Yes. So it was a bit longer than we had wanted, unfortunately, because we were supposed to be between the categories in the bodybuilding show. They decided to put us at the very end, so which took a lot of pressure off of us. That means there was no one in the audience again. But also, like, kind of like you missed that aspect, but I'm okay with it. Yeah. Because I didn't really want that big, because the theater was packed. Yeah. So we gotta do this for all these people? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It could definitely be a little intimidating, especially being on stage with lights.
Yes. Exactly. So we didn't end up we did have to wait a bit longer. I want to say, like, to the point where my sister messaged me privately. She's like, "Did you finish the competition? Not tell us?" I was like, "No, it's still going on." Your phone? So we had a little bit of time, and so when we were getting on the stage, we had to wait in the back for a little bit, which was a little, like, we waited probably 2 hours. Wow. In between. Since getting there, we were told to be there at 3, and we didn't go on till 4. Okay. So it was a bit of a wait. And then we got on, and then we realized, like, we can't just drop the sandbags. We have to drop the sandbags on a mat, because they will go through the floor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like we were like, okay, we're on the lighter side of, like, lighter as in 100 pounds, whereas the big guys are doing way more. But even us, we had to put it on. We picked it up, put it on a mat, dropped it on a mat, and then they rolled it off the mat onto the floor. Yeah. So it did add a little extra time.
But it was necessary to keep everything intact.
We would have went through the floor. We broke so we were moving with the bags from the stage off, and we broke the little dolly they had, because we had a 300-pound sandbag on it. So it's definitely a thing. Yeah. And
they're
so
not light, and they're very awkward.
Yes. So going into that event, I was last. And so at this point, this is where the 1.5 came into play. So going into this, because I won 2 of the events, but I didn't do so great on one of them, it really brought me points down. And so consistency is key with strongman. So because I wasn't consistent and I had that big dip down, I lost a lot of points. And so I ended up, there was a 1.5 difference between us. So that meant I had to win the next event, and someone else had to get between us.
Yeah, because you said that in the chat. I had no idea what that meant.
So, and so going into when I realized it, I knew she had 8 reps, and no one else had gotten 8. So I was like, okay, I knew it, but I didn't know it, because, like, I still wanted to beat her because I'm competitive, and so but I couldn't have won going into the sandbag. Totally fine. And so, but I was like, I'm going to beat her on this. So I was like, because I could do the sandbags. So I was like, okay, my thought process is, so with the sandbags, there was 3 options, starting at 50, 75, and 100 for us. So the 50 pay was worth 10 points. Or 10 points, 100 point, 1,000 points. So basically my thought process was, if I can get 8 at the 100, I go down to 50, get that 10, and I beat her by 10 points.
Oh,
okay. That was in my head. I was like, yeah, I could do that. And so I was doing it, and then I did have a fumble with the sandbag. And so it ate up a lot of time. I got it. So with this challenge, so time, it's important. So as long as the sandbag is up, you have that at any time to finish it. So, and like that's the rule that some have. It really just depends on the competition. I really like that rule. So basically I had it up. I just had to fight with it to get to my shoulder to do it. But I realized some interesting things. I was putting it straight up to my right shoulder. I never do that. I always put the sandbag to my left shoulder.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Because I remember your mom and I, we were having conversations of why you were putting it on your left.
Yeah. But some reason during that competition, I put it on my right, and I fumbled it.
Wow.
And then I was like here, and I had to put it on my left to get that final one up.
Yeah.
It was a fight. It was not a pretty one, but I got that 7. So I knew, like, once I got that 7, I was like, but I wasn't sure how further other people were.
Yeah.
But I knew right after that I had come in second.
Yeah.
I was very happy with that.
You tied second place there, didn't you?
For that event.
Yeah.
For that event, there was another girl who got 7. So that meant I got 4.5 points.
That's so, like, for me to hear you say that after the 1.5 difference, that's so frustrating. I kind of wish that she, like, just got that, so then you could have gotten first. Like, that's literally the only thing that was really holding you back from getting first place.
No, it was my yoke.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, for the end point.
Yeah.
For you to actually accomplish the.
But if I came in, like, even if I tied second, I would have lost by half a point.
Yeah.
I think that would push me more.
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
They always say, we were talking about athletes last week. Athletes have also made mention that, like, first place, it's an accomplishment. Second place, if you get silver, you're, like, beating yourself up over it.
You're the first loser.
So and then third place is like, I'm just happy to be here.
Categories?
You gave your all.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. Because that was where my anecdote was coming from with the yoke runs. It was like how you were feeling after you saw
coming in.
Yes. Yeah.
You thought that would beat me down.
Yeah.
Oh, so it didn't really beat me down. Like, I could see it definitely did a little bit, because I was hoping for top 3. I didn't get top 3. But
I mean, you also came into this competition not feeling. You felt like half yourself that day.
Yeah.
If that.
Oh yeah, it was a running joke. If I didn't throw up or shit my pants, it was a good day. Like, legit. Right before the competition, I was stopped and got Pepto.
Oh, girl.
Because I was like, I felt so nauseous. I've never felt that nauseous. And then driving an hour.
Doesn't help.
Yeah, and so I was just like,
nerves on top of that.
Nerves, driving an hour, and like first competition of the season. I was just like,
triple whammy.
Oh yeah.
Bad start.
Oh yeah.
To the comp. But you succeeded. You got second place overall. Like, I still think that's a huge standing.
No, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. And the fact that, like, your first competition last year, you also got second place. So you're, like, keeping in par with your achievements, your accomplishments that you've done last. So this next competition, you're definitely getting gold.
We're going on that record, I get third.
No, you're getting gold. No, you're getting gold.
But just what you said, you were not setting yourself up. You're setting me up for failure. Because I went silver, bronze, gold.
Yeah. You're going to get gold. You're skipping bronze.
Okay.
Like February. It doesn't exist. We're going straight to gold.
Straight to gold.
You already got the warm-up.
Yeah.
You're set up.
And they are very similar events.
Yeah. Not this one, but the one in July. You're thinking of moving up to open.
So I'm still debating on it, because I need to do a little bit of chatting with the guy, see what it is. And so it's not a for sure thing. This will be my last year as a novice. So it's like, okay, do I just get through this season as a novice and then move up next year?
What's the plan? Yeah.
Well,
we'll see after this event, I guess.
We'll see how it goes. I'm not making any plans until July 20th.
You got a couple of months to figure it out.
Exactly.
Exciting stuff. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your little deets and your feeds on
thank you.
your first competition of 2024.
Yes.
Do you have anything to say to the audience before we go into our next segment, go into a water break? Any motivating words for if they're going to be doing their first competition? What's something that you kind of wish that you said to yourself? If you had time to look back at your past self when you were doing your first comp, what would you say to yourself?
I would really just say go out and have fun and do the best you can.
All right, ladies, strong girlies, let's all have our water break.
Charles.
And then we'll get into the Europe event. And we're back. Yee! So the exact same day that Allie had her competition in Summerside, there was a competition taking place in Leeds, United Kingdom, and it was the European Strongman.
So for people who don't know, this is one of a high standard. Like this is right up there with World's Strongest Man, with the Arnold. It is a very prestigious show.
Just for reference, it's the Giants. It's
Giants Live.
Giants Live, thank you. I couldn't remember. I was like, starts with an L. So Giants Live is the one who's sponsoring the show, and they had it at the First Direct Arena, which can hold 12,000 people to 13,000 people, versus the Arnold's can only hold 13.1 thousand. That was the stadium that they were at. So this is like a big event. And
in Europe, it's huge. This is like WWE,
yeah.
And it's a big deal.
It's a massive deal.
So, of course, with it being on, me and the other girls were on our spreadsheets on good old Strongman Archive, keeping up to date on the newest and the newest.
Keeping up with Uncle Oz.
He was there.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I watched his behind-the-scenes video. So if you guys want to watch it, please take a look at his YouTube channel, Big Laws. He has behind the scenes. He talks to a lot of the competitors, the athletes, before the events and after the events. Gets a little bit of the vibe.
Yes.
And overall, he's a fantastic guy. Like he really brings the energy when he has his chats.
Oh yeah.
But speaking of energy, we are going to get right into it. So, all right. So there are 12 athletes in this competition, and in no particular order, we have Shane Flowers, who got bronze in the 2023 Strongman Open class. Pavlo Kordiaka. I'm going to butcher the names. So
they're so hard. Pavlo Kordiaker.
Okay. He got gold in 2023 Europe's Strongest. Then we have Luke Stoltman, who won gold in 2021 in Europe's Strongest Man. This is actually my first time ever seeing Luke Stoltman compete without his brother.
Oh, it is impressive. Like, people underestimate him because Tom is so magnificent that people undermine how good Luke is.
But I mean, like, he was dude, okay, like we can
get into the stats. We gotta have a little shout out. His baby, he had a baby like 3 days after this.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Luke's a daddy.
Yeah.
God bless. Oh my goodness. But yeah. I honestly, I always thought like Luke always was in his brother's shadow when it came to World's Strongest Man, but in Europe's Strongest Man, he always shined.
Yeah.
Like, especially in 2021, I had to re-watch that one to like really get a good vibe for him.
Yes.
And honestly, killed it.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. Yeah. If anyone thinks that Luke is like ready to retire, he fucking just beat it. No.
Honestly, if I had to compare him to, because I know a lot of people, they'll compare Strongman to a certain animal, like the beast is the beast. And then there's like the ram, whatever. Luke Stoltman is a snake. He just slithers, he hides in the shadows, and then he fucking strikes. And when he bites down on whatever he's doing, what event, he puts his whole heart and soul into it.
He does. Oh.
And you can see it on his face.
Oh, yes. He's wonderful.
He is a tough pickle to beat.
Yeah.
So, going into the next one, we have Avivar.
Ivis Schmuckstellis.
He got bronze in 2023 Europe's Strongest Man. Gavin Bilton in 2023 got silver in the British Strongest Man. Oleski Novikov is the man that won me in.
He got you sold.
He got World's Strongest Man in 2020, got the gold. Then we have Rauno Henla, who got the World's Strongest in Masters class. He is one of the oldest competitors here in this competition.
And he does have the deadlift record for the Masters as well at 475 kilograms.
Wow.
The world record is 500 kilograms.
Wow. Crazy.
Right? Amazing.
Speaking of world record, we have Andra Fochtu. He got the world record for the heaviest log lift under 23. I do believe it was 500 pounds. You might want to check that.
I feel like it was 400, but I could be wrong. 500 is the world record, I believe.
Yeah.
But his for
under
open
23.
No,
yeah.
For open 500.
Okay.
It was 2.1 kilograms.
Okay.
Whatever that is, and
we'll let you do the math.
Yeah, Google.
Then there's Konstantin Janasha. Man, this competition, like we'll go through his stats, but I highly recommend anybody who's watching this, please go back and watch him compete.
This is not his best one. Do not base your opinion on him on this event.
Yeah, he struggled, but you know what? He gave it his all. He got in bronze in 2022 Europe's Strongest Man, and then we have 3 new players in my heart. Frederick Johansson, Nicholas Camby, and Pat O'Dwyer.
Our
Irish boy.
Oh, everyone knows Pa. He's a character.
It's my first time meeting these 3 guys, so I was really excited to see what they can do, and honestly, they did not disappoint.
No, they did not.
But now, with that,
and so just a little bit of facts about that I know of Nicholas. So he was a 120 kilogram, somewhere 105. I can't remember the category. And then he's beefed up, and he did really well. And he actually got an invite because of this competition to World's Strongest Man, along with Pa Dwyer.
Wow.
So Pa Dwyer his Instagram is hilarious. So what he will do is he'll go and look at people's list as an example, and then he'll go in the comment section, and then he'll roast the people, being like, so the people who are roasting the people. Then he'll.
I think I've seen.
Oh, I'm sure you.
Because there was a woman doing like heavy lifting, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, because you know what you're talking about."
Yeah.
And then he like goes through their page.
Yes.
Oh, I love him.
Oh, he's great. He's such a character.
Oh, of course, he's from Ireland.
Of course, I expect nothing less.
We're high on those potatoes, folks.
Yeah. It's in their blood.
So the 3 men to look out for at the start of this competition, I believed it was our Ukraine boy Pavlo, who won last year, and he's fighting to win again this year. Then his brother Oleski, the Ukraine man himself, is number 2. He lost to Pavlo last year, and he was just really trying to fight to like show his place. But the Stoltman brother himself, Luke, he won 2021, and he was coming back with a vengeance. Like I said, Snake, he's slithering in, he's viping.
Yep.
He was hiding for a little bit, and he came back out. He's like, yeah, I'm winning this.
Mm-hmm.
So now getting straight into the events, and then we'll go into the overall scores, last to the top finalists.
And I could talk a little bit more about their performances during the overall review.
Absolutely. But before that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the events, just because they are a little bit more fancier than World's Strongest Man, because, again, Giants Live, they want to show it up. It's Europe's biggest show, so they want to make it an event to remember. So there's a few things that I looked at, and I didn't really quite understand what they were, and I had to do a little bit of research. So just to help you guys through it, because if you're like me and had no idea what you're getting into, this is what it is. We started off this competition with the nickel stones, which are kind of similar to Dinley stones, but they have a ring burrowed into these awkward stones. The heaviest being roughly like 304 pounds, and then the lightest being 251. So not that big of a difference in my mind. I'm sure it's a big difference when you're actually lifting.
Oh, it's huge.
Like,
I was like, big difference? That's a huge difference.
But I mean, like, for 251 being the lightest and the heaviest being 304, like, I don't see that being, like, a massive difference. You know what I mean? That's like going from 85 pounds to 185.
But one hand is the 300. The other hand is the 200.
Yeah.
Like, they're...
Crazy.
That's, like, they're not two separate... They're two separate stones, but you carry them together.
Okay.
So it's not like one set is 200... whatever.
Yeah, 251.
Your one hand is
250, and then the other is 300.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It looked really awkward, and
it's because they're uneven. That's so hard.
That's what it is.
It's like you're really under.
Well, I thought it was just like they were using one stone or the other. They weren't using both.
They use both stones, and they're both like say one is 300 and the other is 50 pounds heavier.
Yeah. So now we know.
Way harder. Yeah.
Crazy. And they got to walk like this, like pharmacary hold.
Yeah.
And the challenge is to do your furthest walk, as far as you can go for 20 meters. You get a 10-second break. Essentially, if you drop it, you got 10 seconds to pick it back up. If you drop it a second time, that's it. You're out. That's it. The second one, I believe, was the car walk.
Mm-hmm.
Took me a second to register this because I was thinking it was the car lift.
Car deadlift.
Car deadlift. That's what I was thinking. And then when I watched the event, no, you're looking like a clown in a car. Like, you got the car base, the body or the shell, whatever you want to call it, surrounding the yoke, and you're carrying this on your back and walking to the finish line. And within like
Flintstones.
Yeah.
You wear a Flintstone. The show Flintstones where they run the car? Yes.
That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like, like the clowns that have the straps and they carry the car. Flintstones, same thing. You're holding it and you're just holding it up in the air. And I'll just say this as a little taster for what to expect. You need to watch Luke Stoltman do it because like he got it over within 40 seconds. It was impressive as hell. Even probably earlier than that. It was,
how long do you think it took him?
It was 40 seconds on the video, but they were also like preparing and stuff, so I didn't get the full record.
It was 16 seconds.
Right.
The slowest was 40 seconds.
Wow. Like, he was just flying. And then he was just waiting for the other guy to show up. He was just checking his watch. And I was just like there in awe. Yeah.
It's so impressive.
The video was only 40 seconds long. So that's why I wrote like 40 seconds. Because on the YouTube video, that's all it was. 40 seconds. Him just boom, boom. He was there.
Nope. Total of 16 seconds. 16.13 seconds.
I wrote his name down on the paper. I looked up. He was done. I was like, what the heck? So, yeah, he was not coming to mess around this competition. Like, he killed it. Next was the deadlift ladder. When I heard this name, I actually thought that you were walking in between the ladder. And I was just like, that is so dangerous. Like,
yep.
Being a youth firefighter, I was all red alerts in my mind. No, they have it set up so you have bars with different levels of weights, and you move up heavier weight the further you go up. And yeah, this one was a really nice competition to watch too. Everyone did a really, really good job. I don't think I saw anybody struggle.
There was a lot more that got 5 than I thought. 5 is a hard number. I expected a lot to get the 4. There's a few like Canby actually. I do believe he got 4. He got 4.
Yeah.
There's 4 is hard. Like, it's a big jump in the weight.
Yeah.
I think it's 300 kilograms to 380 kilograms.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of weight.
It's a big jump. And that's why I was saying, like, with the Nicole Stones, that's why I was thinking, I was like, the lightest weight to the heaviest weight, there's not that much of a difference, but like, it's a carry at the same time.
Yep. And our masters won that event.
Our boy.
Yes, Rauno.
Oh.
He won it with 5 and 41 seconds.
Oh, that's right.
The next one was 47 seconds.
The first one, he didn't even use straps. He just, boom, raw dog it. The second one, he was like, he tried it again, then he strapped up. He was like, all right, done.
I know for a little while there, he had like a program like on how to deadlift. Because he's arguably one of the best deadlifts in the world. Yeah,
he knows what he's doing. And you can see in the competition, like, how advanced he is compared to the others because he has that experience on his belt.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really interesting to see. Like, he doesn't have as much speed as the younger fellas do because, stamina and all that fun stuff. But, like, he is definitely a runner. He's a runner for it. And
yes.
Honestly, just to witness him, like, everything that he does is so clean. There's no mistakes ever.
And it was very impressive watching him last year do the at World's Strongest Man. There's a stone off between him and Brian Shaw was the most impressive stone off that has ever been done, and probably cost Brian Shaw the title. Because he made Brian work for it.
Yeah.
So he's a master's. He's still there.
Oh, he's an expert in his field for sure.
And there's no shame to losing to Brian Shaw.
No.
But like say it was, I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure it's the longest stone run, and like they with 10 times.
It was an event to watch.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember people were biting their nails, like waiting to see what would happen because Brian Shaw is known for the stones.
Exactly.
So to see him compete with that, like, and
it was,
to win,
and they were at the time both of them were the oldest guys.
Yeah.
And they did the most, and say that like it really did affect Brian the next day. You've seen how much doing 10 stones versus the people who had to do 4 stones.
Yeah.
Or people who didn't have to do 8 stones.
Oh, heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was.
But we got 2 left for the events. There was the Viking press, which I thought was pretty impressive. I saw it before, but I didn't register what it was. Essentially, it's just an overhead press style or push press, whatever you want to call it. It's just this nice little machine. Sometimes they have a little basket and they fill it up with stones or whatever they have on hand. This time around, I believe it was logs. They were holding the logs to lift overhead press. And that was really interesting. I didn't expect to enjoy that as much as I did, but I actually watched Hooper do a tutorial because he was teaching people on his YouTube channel how to properly do this. And he actually showed like techniques for an athletic weight versus a more heavier build.
And it is a little awkward because the weight is behind you.
Yes.
So it's easier to do it when the weight is in front of you.
Yeah. Because I've seen Eddie Hall, he was doing it in front of him versus when Hooper was teaching, it was on your back. You were pressing behind you. So
I think it was behind him.
Okay, when I was watching his video, he did like the first few in the front, and then he did it in the back.
The producer of the shows, they'll tell you in the athletes meeting. Most times it is you're facing forward because you could camera see you.
Yeah,
really it.
Okay. And then the last one, it is the Atlas Stones, or in Europe's strongman, it's actually called the Castle Stones. Just for little clarification, it's not actually like stones, it's concrete designed to look like stone called a cast, and you lift it to your chest, you carry it over to the column, and then you drop it. It's 5 stones, and I believe that they're all different weights because the first one looked really small, the big one looked bigger, but I didn't know if that was like perspective.
No, so most times when it comes to stones, it really just depends. But majority of the time, it starts with a higher platform and a lighter weight. Okay. So that's why it is at an angle because the weight is getting heavier. So you have less weight to go with it.
Okay.
So Tom actually has the record in this in like 12 seconds.
Oh, nice. Wow. Well, Luke, he made his brother proud that day because him and Avivar were tied.
Oh my God. It was the most impressive. They had to replay it, and this is the first time a stone's ever been a draw. Like, so usually with the stones, it's like you're going, and the first person to remove their hands wins. Yeah. At the same time. They had to. They bent back and they looked and they could not get the time.
I had to rewatch it 5 times, and then even the comment sections were still fighting that Avivar put his hands up.
Ivis Schmuckstellis.
But I don't know. It was too tight of a call.
Ivis is like, people underestimate him. Yeah. He's in a little bit of a different category. I can't remember the league that he's in. He does a lot of more competition in this other league, and he's like usually winning them. So it's a different league than than most of these guys are in. So most people underestimate how good he is, but he is impressive, and he is impressive at stones, as we see this day. And so, just for context, it was 18.58 seconds for both of them. Yeah. Oh, Shane Flowers actually was. That's right.
I was just going to mention the first person who did the stones. It was Shane Flowers versus Constantine, and honestly, it melted my heart because we're talking about strongman being a competitive sport, but it's also like such a big supportive community. And Shane Flowers was done like within, I want to say like 30 seconds.
53.
He was
and Luke and Ivis were 18.58.
Yeah.
So 0.3 seconds.
Yeah.
A tenth of a second?
Yeah.
0.3 of a second.
I'll let you take that math because I'm not good.
I'm not good at it. The math be mathing.
But yeah, so Shane Flowers finished within 18 seconds.
But you were saying what was he doing how was he encouraging?
Constantine, he was on his last stone. As soon as Flowers put his hands off, he had like maybe 3-4 seconds between when he finished versus like Constantine actually trying to pick up the stone. He had it on his chest. He was holding it. Like, you could see that this man was struggling.
He was hurting.
And my heart just bled for him. And Flowers just puts his hand up on the podium and starts smacking it. He's like, you got this, buddy. It's right up here. Just up here. And it's just like that mind over matter that we were talking about last week. Just get out of your head. And if you think you can do it, people can say you do it. You got the motivation behind you. Just drive. Yeah. And sure enough, like, you could see it in his legs when he was lifting how much this was hurting him.
Yeah.
But he did it.
And so now we're going to kind of go over the order, and we're going to start from last to first, and I can talk a little bit more about them. So unfortunately, Janesh was last. And so this is not the showing that he is. He is so impressive. He is such an amazing deadlift. He's made it to the World's Strongest Man finals, I want to say like 4 or 5 times. Like, he is impressive. He has been hurt. And so, and I believe it was tricep. I'd have to double check that. And ever since that tricep, he's been weary.
He's been struggling since. Yeah. Like, he's almost still in recovery in a way.
I feel more mental. No, it's been long enough that it should be healed. Like, I think it's more of a mental game. And then now he's hurt with another injury. I can't remember what it is. I think it's his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a different injury, but like, you can see it, like, he was very timid since he's pulled that tricep. So he finished in last place with 10 points. Then we have our Sweden, who came in. Our Swedish boy, Fredrik Johansson with 17 points. And so one of the impressive thing with him is he came in third in the deadlift ladder. So he did all 5 in 50.6 seconds, which is very impressive.
Crazy.
And then we have Gab Bilton. So he came in 10th with 21.5 points. And so he was just having a bit of an off day. Like, I'm not exactly sure why he was so low, because he was in Britain's. He came in second this year. Second. So like, he's a very good competitor. He was just having a rough day.
Yeah. I think it's the same thing that you were saying before about like being in the headspace.
Yeah. I definitely
just
agree.
was not in the headspace.
Mm-hmm. And then we have, so this is very close. Like, I want to say, so now we're going to have to be paying attention, because we have 3 guys that have 33 points.
Wow.
So our 3 guys, we have, I'm going to do it in order that they're listed here on Strongman Archives, which is the holy grail of stats. Don't listen to her. It is the one and only. Don't look for something better. You won't find it. So we're going to go by stats here, because what it is the reason it's in this particular order is because since they're tied, it goes by the last event.
Okay.
So that's how it's determined the order. So we have Pavlo Kordiaker, Paula Dwyer, and Rauno Hengler all with 33 points. Yeah. And so, which is shocking to me that Pablo is so low.
Yeah.
But if you look at his numbers, he came in 4th, 9th. He did do his deadlift really killed him.
Yeah.
I see that. But the rest, he was right there.
He's been
so yeah, that's pretty shocking for him. But it's a pretty big jump, but to have 3 people with the exact same score, like,
it's intense.
It's close. And then we have Paul Dwyer. And so he did really great in the deadlift, actually. Like, he came in 4th with the deadlift.
Yep.
And the rest, he was right there with everybody else. Like, no big flops looking at the numbers here. The Viking press was a little bit.
Yeah.
He had 8 reps for half of the first. So that one hurt him a bit, but the rest of the numbers, he's there.
Yeah, he kept up.
He did. And same with, we have Rauno. So he did, those are the 3 that had 33 points. So Rauno in 7th place. So he won the deadlift, but then he did not do so good on the Viking press.
Yeah.
Pressing has never been his strong point. Like, that's not what he's known for. It's one of, I really find like you're either really good at one or the other. It's very, the elite is where you get both.
Yeah, and it's such an awkward thing to do as well, like going behind yourself.
Yeah.
So you have to get, there's so much involved with it.
But because of this performance, all 3 of those are going to World's Strongest Man, which is really nice to see. And then we have Nick Canby with 35 points. Like, he was really the unknown. Like, I was very excited to see how well he did. So the car walk, he came in 2nd.
Oh yeah.
Like 16.57 seconds. Like, amazing. The one that kind of like him a little bit was the stones, both the Nicholas stones and the Castle stones. Those are the ones, like, definitely need something to go back and work on, but right there.
Oh, yeah.
And like, say, coming in 6th place, a point and a half behind Shane Flowers, who has won a couple competitions. I'm drawing a blank on it right now.
Impressive as hell.
Yeah, was amazing.
He won he got bronze in Strongman Open in 2023.
Nice, yeah.
So I mean,
like, he's there.
He knows what he's doing.
Absolutely. So in 5th place was Shane Flowers with 36.5 points. He came in 2nd with the nickel stones, which is really amazing.
Yep.
And 2nd or first in the castle stone. So Nick struggled on the stones and Shane came up with it.
Oh yeah, he kept up with it. Honestly, just the fact that I've never heard of Nicholas Camby, he must be a new guy, is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was the first time I've heard of him.
So, like, if this is his first competition, if there's another competition that you did, Nicholas, and you're listening to this in the future, please let us know.
He's totally listening to this.
He's totally listening, of course.
Yeah,
They're
they're watching this.
But yeah, considering that this is his first competition, like
it's not his first. Like he's definitely done stuff.
Yeah,
and he's not. Yeah,
but you know what I mean. Like he doesn't have the same amount of experience with this as Shane.
Oh yeah,
or
and then we have the
Czechoslovakia.
Yes. And what's his name again?
Andra Fojtu.
Andras Fostru. So he's a youngin'. He's just a baby. And so yeah, like we looked up his age, and I felt
2001. I think he was born.
Baby.
Oh,
but killing it more than we are.
Honestly.
He came in 4th with 38 points. He won the stones. Mm-hmm. And then won a Viking press with 16 reps.
That's not surprising.
Especially with the log, yeah, that's not surprising. Yeah. But still, that is very impressive.
He's got really, like, if you look at him, like, he's got a really, really good build. Okay. Like, in his shoulders, especially. Like, there's no hesitation with the locking.
Gotcha.
Honestly, I think it's one of his best competitions.
Okay.
Yeah. If you look at his other competitions and then you look at this one, I think this is probably his best with the overhead press.
Good to know. And then in 3rd was Alexei, but we love our boy, but he pulled a bicep.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, pulled a bicep.
I knew he got hurt.
That's why he was on the sleeve. He pulled out World's Strongest Man.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So he did amazing. Like, came in 3rd on the car walk, 2nd on the deadlift ladder, 2nd on the Viking press, and then the stones. It popped. Yeah, can't do much. Poor guy. Wow. But still finishing with 40 points.
Still got 3rd place.
And 3rd place.
All else, and then like this, like you said before, the stones are so.
And that's something that he's always struggled with.
Yeah.
And so then we had Ivis Schmuckstellis was number 2 with 43 points.
Wow.
So he did amazing. He tied. See, it really became Nick and Luke show, or Ivis and Luke show.
Yeah.
So they Luke finished with 44 points. So the car walk, they got the exact same distance at 20 meters.
It's so tight.
And then the car walk, he did pretty good. He finished in 7th, got 7 points.
Yeah.
7 points for the ladder, which beat Luke, which is great.
Yep.
Which really bumped him up. They both tied on the Viking press, and they both tied on the stones. Like, it was a battle between those two.
Yeah.
And it was just, and you look at the numbers here, Luke got first on the car walk, but he didn't do so well on the deadlift ladder. Yeah. Like, it was that car walk that put him in that over the edge.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, in this case, like, people were saying, oh, it should have been Ivis who won the stones. Ivis won the stones. Even if he won the stones, he would still have lost a half point.
Yeah.
Because he would only gain a half a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, I'd have to do the math.
He still did a little bit lower on the deadlift than what Luke did.
No, but I'm just thinking if he did, he would have won, because I take that back. Scratch. Because math ain't mathing at 9:15 at night.
Girl.
So yeah, so it was a really close battle, and I'm so excited that Ivis did. I've always loved him. Mm-hmm. I don't know, something about him. I'm just like, I love this guy. He's so
bubbly. He's got a really good energy.
But he's also he's not a big personality.
No.
You don't find? Not in the shows. Like knowing him and watching him in other things, but at the shows, like, he's literally yawning.
Oh yeah.
He'll be yawning and then just going like one.
Yeah.
Like, he's just, but I don't know. I find him such a character. I do love him.
I think, like, I guess bubbly is the wrong word.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
goofy. I find he's more goofy.
I wouldn't even call him goofy.
It looks like he's got like this carefree attitude, and he just goes in and he's
very nonchalant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah, very nonchalant about life.
Yeah. It's a good mentality to have, honestly.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love him. I think he's an amazing competitor. I think people underestimate him, but he is a house that cannot be moved.
Can't be blown over. So, yeah, Luke and Ever, they honestly own this competition.
Yeah.
Like, I talk a lot about Flowers, mainly because, like, I understand that he's done good in some competitions, not so good in other competitions. I think he really had a good play this round. I think he did a really, really good job. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he did a really, really good job, despite, like, everything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please make sure to leave us a little like and maybe a follow here and there.
And where can we find you?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Allie, because we got a TikTok and an Instagram ready for you guys called the SGShufflePodcast, and we'll have that on the screen. Just kidding. It'll be in our links below.
It's at the end.
You'll find it. And then for our personal accounts, you can find me at Handora_readings, and you can find Allie at
Allie_strongwoman,
where she actually has some of her events from her last competition uploaded. So if you guys want to take a few looks at those posts and give her a lot of love, especially before her next competition, please do so. This will be out after your competition, of course, but we can always send some spiritual love up in the air.
Yes.
Yeah, and with that all being said, we hope you guys enjoyed. I still think that the tarot's relevant today, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Please follow our social medias and follow our YouTube channel.
Yes. We will get on Spotify soon, I promise.
Patent pending.
Always. Bye.